Indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babe mums and baby dads, everyone across the world except for Malika Andrews.
Nah, for real though.
Welcome to another episode of Take It to Rim podcast with myself, Rods, aka.
Oh my gosh.
AKA only 8 games, baby.
Oh my gosh.
Bust case. Dumb homicide. Nope. Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. We out here.
Should have done like AKA counseling in Florida. That's what you should
Nah, for real, isn't it?
I said AKA check in.
Bro, I'm certain he checked out the exact same day as well.
100, isn't it?
Man walked in and said,
Yeah.
"Yep, that about do it."
I'm good now. I'm free. I'm mentally free. I'm back.
My God.
He just walked in and said, "All right, let me not make that shit public anymore," and then walked out.
No, you know the ones where you used to go uni and you just want trying to get your name done on the register so you can bounce. That's what he was doing, bro. 100%.
I'm here with Clipper Cam.
What's good?
And LA Jules.
Yeah, we outside.
Oh man. So talking about 8 games. Jar Devious Morant.
As they say, Warrant.
Oh, good.
Warrant.
Jarwick.
Oh, good.
Oh, this is not good.
Oh my gosh. No, we gotta laugh at these things. So Ja Morant has officially been suspended for 8 games and he's apologized for the IG video.
Yeah.
I can't lie. What the sit down with Jalen Rose? They tried to do him like R. Kelly, bro. They tried to do him dirty. Like, I was asking, whose gun was it?
No, asking fair questions, bro.
Why are you asking that kind of question, bro?
What do you
John
want-
answered perfectly, but obviously he's gonna say it's probably one of the ones where, yeah, you gotta be direct. Like, you can't just say it.
Yeah.
But Jalen Rose knew he ain't gonna get the answer, bro. You think you're gonna answer with that? If I say who's going, I don't know. It's the store across the road. You told him.
I found it on the floor.
It's Walmart.
No, you know with that was cleared beforehand. Like there was a list of questions.
Yeah.
Jar's probably new PR team because he definitely didn't have one before. His new PR team probably said, "Yeah, these are the questions we're gonna have you ask us. Is what we're gonna answer." You know that was well rehearsed, well scripted. You know they were ready for all of that. 100%. It was a sit down that looked like a very, very remind me exactly of the R. Kelly interview.
Literally the exact same thing, bro.
I feel like Jalen Rose did Jar a favor because Jalen Rose has done a lot of goods. He's spoken well about Jar since all of this happened anyway.
Yeah. Saying
how sometimes it's difficult to get away from the people that are around you that influence you to do bad things, and he said this shouldn't be something that defines him. Don't forget all of the good things he did before this moment, and the fact that he's probably still going to have a great career after this. Don't let this one thing be a blip on his name. Yeah. I agree, bro. But now Memphis can't spend the night in any of the big cities because this boy can't behave.
It's mad.
But the thing is, it's because of who he goes out with. If it was people in the team, I don't think it's going to be a Mazzoline because
I'm sure there's at least a couple of them there though.
Yeah, he's got his boys. Bro.
If I'd imagine, and this is me speculating, conspiracy cam, Dillion Brooks is probably
100%.
heavily involved in some of this foolishness as well.
Yeah, 100%.
This is what would make sense to me after seeing what Dillion Brooks is on the screen. You know,
even Desmond Bain probably as well, man.
The only person I know who's definitely not there is Steven Adams.
Yeah,
That's the only one I know who's definitely not there.
JJJ, boy.
You never know, man. You never know.
I was gonna say something wild, but let me.
But it's just one of those where it's good. It's cool that it's only 8 games. I know people speculating, 50 games. Okay, he's not Gilbert Arenas. Let's relax.
Slightly though, bro.
No.
The only reason they were saying it could be 50 games is because the fact that how did the gun get there? You flown from Memphis, yeah. You definitely couldn't buy a gun out there because you have to be, I think, they said you have to live there to even buy a gun out there. But yet you had a gun, and you can't take a gun on the team plane. So one of the two things that I just said can't happen happened. So which one was it? That's why they were saying it should be a 50 game ban.
But the thing is, even obviously you can't put a bit, but on the team plane, do people that you like, obviously friends, family that you fly with, do they come on the team plane?
No, it's not allowed.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
Okay, exactly. So, but these guys were still there. Some guys were still there. So they're asking how did that go? But if he's with obviously some people out there, and they didn't travel on the team plane, they traveled a whole other way.
Yeah.
You know?
The whole situation is dumb because of all the things you can do in Colorado, because it's legal to smoke out there as well.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And he was probably doing, I don't know, but like of all the things you could do out there, the dumbest thing you could do is mess around with guns, let alone film yourself. I don't need to speak about that because we know where it is. He got off light. We know he got off light. Like 8 games, and I feel like they've started the 8 games from when he last played as well.
No
because
way.
they were saying the earliest he could play was Monday, right?
March 20th.
Bro, that's literally that's Monday. That's what I'm saying. So it's an 8 game suspension from when he last played.
So
I think
for when he last, that's mad. That's not even fair. Like
Why
how?
not?
Why? They made the decision now. It starts from now.
Because apparently he wasn't suspended by the team. He took time away from the team, is what they said, right?
Yeah, the team. Do you know the team suspended him, and then they made it 10 times away. So the NBA didn't want to do anything because their team already took action.
Yeah.
Right. If the team didn't take action, then it would have been worse, innit? So the team knew. Look, the team probably had multiple conversations or saw Jar warn them, saying, "Look, Jar, I know obviously but just make sure you're careful with everyone around." And I'm sure Taylor Jenkins has a good relationship with him as well, because he still backs him and no matter what. So he's probably chatted to him as well, and he's given Jar time to actually reflect as well, because he does do a lot of good. Like, obviously, you know, in terms of the time length, people work in many speeds. So, but it's one of the ones where I'm sure he has still, because of the repercussions, it was good, because now it's shown to him that, look, I can still enjoy my life and be me, but I just have to make sure that I'm doing it in the most sensible way. Yeah. Because it's not a crime to go to whatever. If you was going to whatever club or doing or whatever, even the clubs that have given feedback about Jar, they said good things. They said very nice things, and so we all know. So in terms of that, it's fine. I just think some of the things that he was dibbling and dabbling in was a bit. Yeah. He shouldn't have. You know what I mean? You know.
I want to quickly talk about the club, because yes, they were saying good things about him, but they released pictures of him being in there. Yeah. Did you see? Wait, hang on.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. One, it's mad that they did that in the first place.
They got paid.
But bro, you see how much money was on the ground?
Yeah, I think he said it was 50k.
People say they spent his max contract. People say he spent his max contract in the club. Obviously,
no, but that was 50k all over.
The thing is, you hear about rappers saying how much it's like. I've heard the Migos say like loads of times, "Oh, we threw like 20 bands up in the strip club," but you don't know what that looks like unless you're there, innit? Seeing that picture, bro, I'm telling, there was no surface that was not covered in money.
Deep it though.
You know that's not ones.
It is. It's 50k in ones. That's so you can throw a lot.
Crazy,
so
bro.
Deep 50k in ones. That's covering the room.
Crazy.
That's covering the room. Plus, I understand that I can't remember I seen it, but drama makes like 100 something k a game or 90 or 96k. So I can't, some number between 96 and 100.
Right now, he's probably earning something like 10 between 8 and 10 mil. Yeah, because he's still on his rookie deal. But yeah,
but he's
on good money.
What he makes a day, what he's through that 50k in a day, he's still got peas left.
Bro. That's nothing. That's nothing.
That's the thing. In terms of his money, like, bro, that's that.
I feel like we can make a strip club starting 5 right now with the guys that we throwing money, because we can't forget the pioneer of all this, James Harden.
He's the guy. Come on,
James.
A point guard. No, he's a shooting guard. No, he's not even point guard. He's quarterback, a point guard. Holding mid.
Let Harden play the 2 just so Jar's in the team as well. Jar put something on the CV from this whole series now. We know he's been throwing bands. It's crazy. Like, I'm trying to understand. Yeah, like what did the strip club think they were doing by releasing this footage?
I have a guess of that.
They got money. They got paid
because of the IG video. What happened?
Yeah,
if they're releasing pics of him in the room with staff, all different staff members. Yeah. It also gives another case where, okay, he was in this room alone by himself, so like it was fine. Like this shows that he was in a room. He didn't entertain in no foolishness of the sort. It just showed him being there, enjoying whatever is part of their culture.
Yeah.
Because if you see that, you're saying, okay, you see the statement of him being very nice, very generous, very cool. You see the photos with staff members in the bar at the back and other staff members around, and obviously the scenery. You think, okay, so at this point, it's kind of fine. Like he's doing what a lot of athletes and celebrities have done.
It's just mad. It's just mad to see because obviously there was him, skinny as hell on the sofa, with cheeks in his face, innit? Like if we're being that's what it was, innit? Like it's like I know it sounds stupid of me, yeah.
Like I really
because what else do you think is happening?
As clean and good as possible, and you just come and just say facts. Yeah, forget all that. This is it.
Bro, there are people out here who listen to this podcast that have not been able to access that footage. We have to provide them with audio description of what's going on. There was cheeks in his face, and I know it sounds ridiculous of me to say.
I feel like his jeans were bootcut too.
I know it sounds ridiculous of me to say, but what else did people think he was doing up in there?
It's true though.
He's in a strip club. What
else do you want to know? Like
reading a book?
Going to church? Like what do you want?
It's wild. It's wild. People will say he was giving back to the community. Yeah, exactly.
I'm a man of the people. You know
that staff member could have had things that had to pay for in terms of school, and
she got them paid.
Yeah,
she got them paid. Let me tell you that.
And for the next year, and maybe the next year.
If she was the only one in there working like in the strip club, as she was, not bar stuff, nothing like that, and she got to take home 50K. Wow.
Even if she got half of that, bro, she's good.
Wow.
That's more than people's yearly salaries, bro.
Yeah,
wow,
it's kind of mad.
But in terms of like quotes, you want to see what some of the bits he's.
Yeah.
So I think he addressed it obviously with the Jalen Rose interview, as you said yesterday, and he said, honestly, I feel we put ourselves in that situation with our past mistakes, and now it's only right we focus and lock in on being more smarter and responsible and hold each other accountable for everything.
Yep.
I feel like in the past we didn't know what was at stake, and now finally me having that time to realise everything, have that time alone, I realise that now. I realise what I have to lose, and for us as a group, what we have to lose. It's pretty much just being more responsible, more smarter, and staying away from all the bad decisions. Yeah. And I think it's...
And that's it. That's
basically it, to be fair.
The aim of him being away from the team and getting the help that he needs, and it was time for him to reflect over everything and realise, you know what? Even though I am in this position, it can be taken away like that if I'm not careful. I have a responsibility to remain professional and start this, because there's people who, whether they wanted to go to the NBA and be in the league or want to do something that they love doing, there's people who are fighting or have wished and are still fighting and trying to be in a position that he's in.
Yeah.
So he's deep down realize there's people who would love to be in a position who would be more, even if they was having fun, they won't take it out of hand. They'll still have their fun and enjoy their life, but they're still respecting where they are. Fact. So you have to look as well that there's other players who could have come from the same background, similar background, or like looks like him or whatever. But there's other players and people, young guys who are looking and saying, okay, this guy's young, he's really like, he does good for the community, he's still with his obviously friends and put them in good positions and like just building an empire. So whether he likes or not, he is a type of role model to these young kids. So he had to, for him to make the mistake and realize it also shows them that, look, sometimes you can get carried away. So you have to always remember, you got to move sane.
And I think just the whole thing about all of this for me is like alluding to what you're saying, like you're young, you're a man, you know, like you're well paid and you want to enjoy yourself. If you want to do that in a strip club, bro, however, if people say it's after a loss, regardless of what they say or think, you are a high level player, you know how to you know what you're doing. Yeah. That we can't argue with, innit? Like, but the only thing is obviously the incident with the weapon. Yeah. And that is promoting a negative image. Like the whole strip club thing, whatever you're doing, that's your personal time, that's your private time. if maybe that's your method of relaxing at that moment in time, or de-stressing with, as Cam would say, with something in your face at night.
Cheeks.
Then
Please. Let's be honest. let's not tiptoe around.
if that's
it.
your way to de-stress, then let it be. But obviously, there's nothing wrong in that. There's only the wrong in what you're promoting. And like you said, you're a role model. There's a lot at stake, and I'm telling you, there's wolves everywhere. Willing to,
100%.
they're hungry people all around, and NBA careers can end like that. You've seen stories of people, so many players getting the bag, losing the bag. I mean, we can go on and on about some of the players that have even had injuries and lose not the bag, but even like talking like a Derrick Rose, lose injuries and lose that high level of talent that you have, and you're never that player.
Well.
Do you know what I mean? Like everything.
It's true, because look at all the sponsorships that, because even Powerade was like the first athlete that they've put there. So I don't know, has they completely cut ties?
That's a good point, actually. I didn't even think about stuff like that.
I know Nike stood by him.
Which is nuts. But
Nike stood by him, but Powerade, I don't know if they've cut ties or if
nothing's
not,
been
I'm not
announced.
sure,
I imagine they
but
did.
he had a deal with Coca-Cola or something. Was
Powerade are owned by Coke, so
but but all that stuff was happening. So yeah, it's kind of like, look at all the opportunities that were, well, if that's, I don't know if that's completely done or not, but there's things now you got to explain and account for, and look at the opportunities that you're doing, because now you've got that. Obviously a cool Nike's with you, but with the Powerade thing, that could have opened up doors to many other things. And obviously he's for that what's that boxer brand, PD or something like that, PSD or something like that. It's a boxer brand that he's also
it's
thing
the
for.
underwear, not the
The underwear. So there's a lot of things that he's doing. It's like you got to show that venturing into these things is the way. Is much better. So, and you have to also realize, as hard as it is, you can't save everyone. Like some people,
100%.
not everybody is around you has your best intentions, because if they have your best intentions, they would not allow you to do something stupid like that, because this is it'll ruin your life. Don't do that, or don't do these things. It's not gonna make sense.
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes a lot of these athletes as well, especially the new ones, they really want to. They obviously, it's nice being athletes, but they also want to kind of live rapper style.
Oh, of course,
Whereas,
they all do.
You can't live a full rapper style. You can, certain things that they do in terms of stuff that don't get them in trouble, yeah, that's fine. But there's other things where there's a fine line, yeah, because rappers can go jail, come back and drop a tape and make peas.
Yeah.
And it fits with the image of that.
Athletes,
If you go inside,
yeah,
done it.
yeah,
You've missed your prime. You've missed years, bro. It's not
that's
the
what I'm
same.
saying. So I'm sure that Jar has learned his lesson.
He has to, bro.
He'll move fine from here. So that's good. But talking about Jar and obviously Memphis Grizzlies, just want to quickly break off into the villain of the league.
What's wrong with this youth, bruv?
bruv?
What's wrong with
First
this
of all,
youth, bruv?
Before we even get into that, his fashion choices recently have been very. He came in like Stone Cold.
Yeah,
Steve Austin,
yeah. I remember.
And
that.
another day, then recently came in same basic kind of shorts and everything, and he was wearing, I think it was a Dior body warmer, and that's it. I'm just like, I know it's not that hot.
It's not.
Like, I don't understand what he's doing. That he's moving crazy. Yeah, and Donovan Mitchell.
He's beefing everyone.
Donovan Mitchell, he handled him. So
Yeah, threw him straight to the ground.
that's what I'm saying. But it's like, I don't understand why he's doing all these things, and then the whole back and forth with Draymond, and
That's embarrassing.
that's
as well.
embarrassing, because there's quotes saying you want to be the Draymond of the team. Like, you're really digging yourself a hole. So I don't know if he's trying to keep them relevant while Jar's away, or but
That's a good point.
But what he's doing is mad. Like, he really is becoming a villain of the league.
I love what Draymond said, because Draymond was like you're not liked in the league. Like, I don't even think your teammates like you, like that. Which is a wild thing to say. He said they're not winning a championship with that guy, and they probably won't win one until he leaves anyway. Which is bro.
It's when you're a full-time champ, bro. Yeah.
I don't think he's like lying, to be honest. The same game he was talking about how Draymond's not that good, and then they played the Warriors, and the Grizzlies did win. The Warriors didn't show up, but Draymond of all people outplayed Dillion Brooks. Across the line, his stats were better than Dillion Brooks in every category. I've seen And this stuff always happens. Once people start talking a lot, it shines a lot more light on your game. People start paying attention to you. And when you fall short, when you're not playing that well, it's noted. I've seen so many compilation videos of this guy airballing threes, missing threes, clanging. He thinks he's playing defense, but he's getting called for fouls every time, so you're not playing defense. You're not really doing a great deal. The thing that I thought was mad weird, do you remember in that, I don't know if it was that game or the game before, where they were like head to head and then Draymond's like moving his hand. And Dillion Brooks is like... he's moving weird, bro. Moving weird. I was like,
man's trying to sniff armpits.
What's going on here? What's going on here?
He's moving mad.
He looked like he was enjoying that. I didn't like that at all. I think if I speak like wholeheartedly about your game, do I think there's value for you in the league? Do I think you're a good player? Not really. I don't think you're a good player. I think every team does kind of needs a guy like him, but I think there are guys that have like the similar kind of impact in terms of being like a pest and being loud and all that stuff, like a Pat Bev, that do not come with the same
stupidness like that, bro.
Bruv, like if we're being honest, innit, yeah, you're what, like a 6'5" small forward. You're an undersized player for your position. You're not the fastest. You're not the strongest. You're not the best shooter. You're not that. I think you're a decent defender, but you have a tendency to foul a lot as well.
Yeah.
Are you really sure you want to keep going down this path? And I've said it before, when you talk too much, bro, people start looking at the kind of player you are, what ability you have, and when they start seeing there's a lack of, you're going to quickly become like the butt of a lot of jokes, innit? Like if we're being honest, I feel like at some point the Grizzlies are going to start looking at him and say, is it worth us being guaranteed to get one tech a game, giving away free throws and stuff like that, because he's always getting into something, stopping the flow of the game? Like, is it worth having him around? I mean, I think he'll be there as long as Ja wants him there.
Yes.
I think he'll be there as long as Ja wants him there. But they would trade him in a heartbeat if they could get like an upgrade at that position.
100%. So.
I mean, I don't really think he's a good player. I think he's all right, standard in the league, but for all the amount of talk he's given, he's doing too much. Like, I like to see back and forth. It's entertaining.
Yeah,
it's good because sometimes it's needed. And sometimes the NBA's become a bit too soft. Back in the day, this was real, innit? Do you know what I mean? But he's doing far too much, and you're getting at the players. Like, even a couple of days ago, like getting at Luka, who's like, you're going at Luka and Kyrie, you're blowing a kiss to them. These men are not even on the court; they're in the stands in their street clothes. They didn't play. Why are you blowing kisses to them? Like, Luka's just laughing. Luka got up like he was about to suit up and start playing. But it's like, stop doing this. All these players that are way better than you and have way more like NBA status than you, like you said,
way more reason to talk shit.
Like, honestly. And they don't. So who are you, bro? Like, it's Pete. Like, he just needs to shut his mouth, man.
Maybe, like I say, my thing is, I think that he started to, obviously, this has probably been more low key because he wasn't talking as much, but this is what he was probably doing under the shadows. I think once everything went with
even
Ja
before
and he
that.
went away.
Before
That, yeah, he was
that
moving
that whole Shannon Sharp thing was because him and Dillion Brooks were talking shit to each other.
It's been like that for a while, bruv. He's been chatting like this for a while, bruv.
To be fair, even players have said he's been like this for a while.
Like, he's moving like campaign, bro.
Yeah. Oh my
god. But it's in my opinion, it's way more embarrassing because you're talking all this shit to Draymond, and then there's video evidence of you saying, I think I could be like Draymond Green in the league.
But the fact
like,
that
I want to be like him.
But the fact you said that, why are you talking so much?
If you said that about Draymond and now you're saying Draymond's trash, what are you?
You know what I mean?
I say even nice at that, like
that's your trash man's idol, bro. Like, you're literally his idol. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Boy, but yeah, Dillion Brooks, I don't know what's gonna go on with him, but it is what it is. Moving on to more things in the West today. Man, so before we get to
my rant's coming, so let Cam go, bro. My rant's coming.
So Cam,
yes,
your Clippers team,
yes.
I know you have questions about them because you think they can't guard no one.
I know we can't guard no one. I've seen it.
They're not guarding anyone like they can.
Yeah.
And things are moving mad. But I said it from way before, and I believe it was the beginning of the season. I said the early team in the West that I have confidence in that will beat Golden State is the Clippers. I feel like they was the best matchup. I have another team to add to that list, by the way. Now, actually, there's only two
Sacramento.
teams. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think they could. I can't lie. Do you know what it's not? I know what you're saying.
N-O.
Okay, you say that. That's fine.
I will.
You say that's
because
fine.
the defending champs and
Okay,
the team
no.
ain't been in this way.
100%.
Okay,
But
defending
just
champs.
know that a player on that team is leading in clutch points.
That's fine.
I think. Do you know what
4-time champs on the other team.
100%.
Multi,
I've
as they would
lost
say.
almost every single game on the road.
What does that mean? Multi champs. Playoffs are different,
it means
baby.
if they don't have home court, they're finished.
Playoffs are different, baby.
Yeah.
Home court, they're finished.
Playoffs are different, baby.
But I'll put them there as a sleeper team,
Yeah.
just because they've never been afraid of goal. Even when Golden State had Kevin Hart, Kevin Durant, and
Kevin.
life of my pain. Yeah. But why? I know you was kind of moving mad about them, but for Steph Curry to drop 50 points,
Yes.
when Steph Curry drops 50 points in a game,
Yes.
they've won. Like
Normally.
Warriors have won that game. So for him to drop 50 points and lose, is that a positive? Yes, because the greatest shooter is dropping 50 points on your team, but yet still lost. And it's one of the ones where, and deep it as well, that the Warriors players were making shots. They were. It wasn't a bad game because I think they even had a bit of field goal as well than you guys as well. Obviously, you guys got to a free throw line much more because they couldn't stop you guys attacking the paint. But like, why are you so rattled by your team?
Because this has been the case for I'm even gonna go as far to say for years now. Since Luka first cooked us in the bubble, this is the same shit we've been doing. We keep letting guys have like amazing games against us, innit? And we're supposed to be like a team full of great two-way wings and great defenders and stuff like that. But if I'm honest, we haven't shown up defensively for a little while now, and it's starting to rattle me. I think the reason we won that game is because Kawhi had 30 and PG had 24. Russ was absolutely a beast on the boards.
Yeah.
Zoo had like, I think Zoo had 16 and 18 or something. What Zoo had something crazy.
Yeah, he had 16 rebounds, 19 points.
19 and 16. Like that. The reason we beat them is because we out rebounded them. We weren't living and dying by the three as much as Golden State did as well. You know, you got instances where you know, Steph took, I think, 14 threes and made eight of them.
8 of them, yeah.
But Clay didn't have a good game. And he put up quite a few shots. Jordan Poole was pretty good off the bench for them. I think the biggest reason why we probably won that game is because our bench were able to...
Yeah, Eric Gordon, 16 points. He's done a
Bro,
bit. Terrence Mann, 17.
No, Terrence Mann has been quite nice this season. Yeah. I think Eric Gordon is best when he's not playing point guard. I think you can play those two together and there's no problem. Eric Gordon is a knockdown three-point shooter.
Yeah, Eric Gordon's nice when he's not stopped. Number one, he shouldn't start. That's number one.
Yeah,
number two,
or finish. Don't start, not close.
But the role that he played, like he was alongside Russ, cool, because he finding for the shots, and so that's when Eric Gordon makes sense. Besides that, he needs to. Ty Lue's woken up a bit.
Ty Lue used to chill, but I think Ty Lue kind of realized where he was going wrong with that. Eric Gordon is not like the ball handler of the team, and that's okay. I still laugh at the video of that guy saying in the fourth quarter yelling, "Why the fuck Batum in?" Because I feel it sometimes. Like I really do. Like
it don't make sense.
Batum to me is a good guy to give like 10 minutes a game to, but we like, for some reason, Ty Lue likes to bring him in for that fourth quarter stretch, and I think it's where
because he's shot making, and that's
because I did see him like he's good at corner threes and stuff like that, and he's still a pretty decent defender. I think he's good when we need to go small.
Yeah.
Because Marcus Morris doesn't play a lot of minutes; he just starts for us. I've noticed that he only plays like 15 a game. Also, I'm pretty sure he did get ejected though.
Yeah, he did. He did. Okay, for fighting Draymond, for scrapping Draymond.
But this is what I'm saying, innit? Like, no one's complaining about Marcus Smart talking all this shit, but, Dillion Brooks, whatever. The reason I'm concerned is because I've seen Kawhi play, and I know what Kawhi is now. Kawhi has said fuck it about playing defense right now. I don't know if it's a temporary thing where he's just going to lock in the playoffs or what, but right now, Kawhi on ball, still a very good defender, but that guy does not give a fuck about playing off-ball defense anymore.
Yeah, he's not really chasing things, is he?
Okay, now
as much.
Yeah. Do you know what? 100%, because I've realised on ball, completely fine, no worries.
Yeah, he still stays in front of the guy.
Off ball now, usually he'll a lot of steals, interceptions, especially like the one where he's a while ago he dived and got interception without even looking.
Yeah.
But come back from injury, I think right now is like, you know what? I'm not going to put my body through a madness now because we've got a few weeks until I got to really start showing these guys, okay, cool, why I'm Kawhi.
Yeah.
But also, warming your body up to it would be good, just so that when it comes to playoffs, you don't want to dive in. You're like, all right, cool, I'm out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
100%.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think he's just a thing where it's just like, usually, he doesn't have as many defenders by his side like that. But this team is full of people who are like
defenders.
Yeah. So
because they ain't nobody defending
but
shit.
now is one of the ones where he ain't doing it, and the team's like, all right, we might as well not do it, because I don't know what's going on. Like, they're just not. It's help defense. That's the main thing.
It's a collective thing. Like, I just see a lack of effort on the defensive end.
Is that you lot don't care?
And maybe it's that other teams are used to us now, which I just don't think is the case. But consistently, any game we play now, the other team's scoring at least 120 points.
Yeah,
But that's way too much.
And you're meant to have two of the best two-way players in the league.
I just think both of them as well. Like, I watched Paul George's podcast where he was talking about it. He was like how it took him a while to get back to trust in his body after like injuries and stuff like that. And I know it's the same with Kawhi as well. I don't have to question it. And to be fair, like, I don't think anyone would. Kawhi looks like so much better.
yeah.
Like, in terms of health wise, like, you watch him play now,
He's looking even more springy as well.
bro. He's catching lobs. Like, I'm not saying he wasn't catching lobs before, but he was catching lobs before, and then looking at it like, probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
But offensively, I even watched your game on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I think he dropped 40.
Bro,
he looks so clean. He looks back to himself.
He does. I can't lie. He's and I feel like it's only. Don't worry. Like, I knew what Kawhi was offensively, but watching him now, I think his 3-point shot has gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
His mid-range game is still as smooth. Do you know, it's probably a bit smoother in Toronto, actually, looking at like film and stuff like that. But still, I see him make some of the craziest contested mid-range drop shots I've ever seen. And I just have full faith that he's going to make most of them as well.
That's the thing, though. As soon as he pulls up, he's in the area. He's in the zone. You know, it's his zone.
Yeah, and his shot is so flat as well. Like, sometimes it's surprising. I think a big part is that they're playing well together. Like, him and PG, like, as a 1-2, look very good.
Yeah,
very.
I
very
think
good
a lot of people love to give slander and talk shit when someone's come in the team, especially with Russell Westbrook, and try and blame him for the negatives.
Who's your fan base, by the way?
Yeah, a lot of people. Some Laker fans are just useless human beings, man.
Most.
Forget.
Yeah,
Anywho, you know them digs from them Clipper fans, them ringless Clipper fans. But but you have to give credit. Like, he's come in at the beginning. Obviously, you could see the makings of what he would bring to the team, and I think I just read he's averaging.
Kawhi or PG?
No, what Russ is coming the team,
Russ,
and he's gelling a bit more with that too.
Yeah.
And now what we're seeing is a better version of, like, they actually are playing the game defensively. Like you said, it's not great, but you're starting to grind out better wins against better caliber opposition. Like
100%.
Beating Golden State when Steph drops 50, mate. That's a playoff version of Steph Curry. Him dropping 50, you're not gonna get much better from Steph at any game, and then you still beating him. Do you know what I mean? And the fact that you're coming out of there saying we didn't do good enough defensively, well, it shows that at least that's the level. Like, a man's dropped 50, you've won the game, but there's still things to do. And then you're talking about how effective Russ was. Everyone plays their parts, but you're seeing them gel better as a team, and I think that's the reason why you got him, to kind of get that mending, that start gelling. Because I felt like you lacked as much as John Wall was there, you didn't really see that true point guard and decision making and just play decision making. And it's like Kawhi and PG would dribble it up, but you needed another person to kind of just say, you know what, hold up, guys, space here, we're running this play, boom, let's make it happen.
With Russ's game as well, because he's more. First of all, he'll probably get his own rebound. He'll probably get a defensive rebound and push the ball up, or outlets come to him, and he's gone. Like, so
we're getting out on the break a lot more.
Running, everyone's running, and you know, okay, if the lane is there, he's got it. If they collapse, someone's open for the shot.
Yeah.
So I think him actually playing his game again, and obviously having familiar face with PG, and then with Kawhi constantly supporting him and saying, obviously, that he's happy that he's here and time to be himself, is why you're seeing the best of Russ.
But off your point, this is probably the last thing I say anyway. Us getting Russ might be the reason we do get to the NBA Finals this year. I was saying at the beginning of the year that for me it's like championship or bust, isn't it? And I still stand by that. I think at the end of the day, Jules will take the piss out of me as often as much as possible.
I definitely will. That will never change.
But an expectation was set for this team when we got Kawhi and PG together in it, and we've fallen short every single year. Now looking at it with the playoffs starting in less than a month, both my guys are healthy. Our team looks like we're pretty much at full strength. If we can start this defensive stuff, I don't see why we can't make it to the NBA Finals. And I think Russ was a key piece to that, and just having a pass. I don't know if I can call him a pass. He is a pass first point guard, but a point guard that's literally looking to make everyone else on his team better. There was a play last night or the other night where Russ passed it to PG. Yeah. PG shot a three, missed. Russ got the rebound, kicked it back out to PG, shot again, missed. Russ got the rebound again, kicked to PG. PG hit the three, and bro, like 2 offensive rebounds from a guard is nuts anyway. Yeah. But it's the fact that he's influencing so many other plays in the game as well, just by always looking to get guys the right shot as well. And I think now that he's, eased into the team, it's nowhere near as hostile as it was, for the other team that wear purple and gold. I think he can be successful here, man. So I'm happy we got Russ. I'm very happy we got Russ, and I'm still standing by it's championship or bust.
Okay. Well, I hope it's bust then.
Yeah, you can hope all you want, innit? From outside the playoffs. from outside the playoffs. I know you're about to talk about it. I just want to quickly say, didn't your boy have to rest the game last night, right?
Because he ain't playing back-to-backs.
Right?
So, Jules.
He stubbed his toe.
Let's go to you.
He breathed.
Last thing on the West.
Bro, I'm sick of this shit. I'm so sick of this shit. No, I'm sick of this shit. How can you beat the Pelicans, Our franchise record at the half, 75 points. Everyone's hitting threes. Malik Beasley's going off. We're going ham. We're dominating. We're up by nearly 30. Next game, you're against the Houston Rockets, bro. Do you know how dead this franchise is, bro? There is no reason, to lose to this team. Guess what Darwin Ham decides to do? Oh, Mr. Anthony Davis can't play back-to-back because, we need to make the playoffs. We're in a massive race with every single game matters. Yep. And what can you do? Absolutely nothing. AD, sit down. Wear your street clothes because you, a grown basketball player earning millions, you're on M's, can't play back-to-back. You can't play back-to-back. Are you mad? Are you mad? Every game counts. Had we won that, we would have risen. But we now dropped because of what? You can't play back-to-back. Why? For why? I'm so sick of this shit. Every time we're about to do something, we're on the run, we have a good game, our best game of the season, you go lose to this bum-ass team. What's wrong with them? What's wrong with Darwin Ham, bro? Who says, Anthony Davis? Bro, even if you play the guy and we blow this team out, or you can say, you know what, less minutes. That's how you bloody coach. What the hell is not DMP? For what? He's in street clothes. Then you go and lose. Well, respect these teams, bro. This is the NBA, fam. How dare you, bruv?
Jules, I think his name's Darvin.
I don't think his name's Darwin, bruv. His name's Darwin Ham. You don't deserve Darwin.
Man said he plays for Liverpool.
Darwin Nunes. Darwin is your name, bruv. No, I refuse. How dare you, bro?
I can't lie.
Sorry for shouting.
AD not playing back-to-backs in crucial.
How many games are left of the rest?
I know that the minimum record that you lot need to make sure you get there is like 19-6. So you've lost.
That's crazy. That's already tough.
So you've already lost. You've lost 2 games, and you've won. I don't know how many. Maybe 4 or something.
There's 18. No. There's 12 games left in the season.
12 games. So the thing is, right, AD not playing back-to-backs make no sense. He could have been on a minute restriction during the game. Just do that. Plus, you need him because you had to start Gabriel. And any team that has to start him is a
When
cry for
you-
help.
I should say the problem yesterday, yeah. They saw that. Yeah, the Rockets saw that and they were eating us. Eating us in the paint. They'll drive into the paint. They'll pause. Pause. Yeah. You know you're ranting so much. You know what you're saying. That's how much Darwin's pissed me off, bruv. Darwin Ham.
Yeah.
Bruv. They'll
Cooking
us in the paint. Yeah, they'll go into the paint. They'll out rebounding us. It was so easy. Pick and rolling us straight. But the problem is when you've got someone like Gabriel, who's not at the NBA level to be playing enough minutes to start.
You keep saying Wenyan.
Wenyan. You have no right or reason to drop Anthony Davis. Like, big man, if you have a Valanciunas or Steve Adams as back as a 5, and do you know what I mean? You've got someone competent, then I can say, you know what? You can maybe live and die by that decision. Not Wenyan. You have no right, bro.
There was a play that I saw as well, right, where I think it was Kevin Porter Jr. and him, and they've gone for the rebound. I don't know what's happened, but Wenyan's what, 6'10"?
Yeah.
Kevin Porter Jr. is what, 6'4"?
6'3", 6'4",
6'3", 6'4". They've both gone up for the rebound. Wenyan has the rebound. He comes down, and I don't know if he's lost the ball or he's dropped or whatnot. But then I see Kevin Porter Jr. get the ball and just dunk it. And I'm like,
bro, he's
what
the smallest, tallest guy I've ever seen. Because he's tall for no reason. Yeah. There's no reason to his height. There's no reason to him being a centre, bro. And like, he's so bog standard.
This is the thing, because it's like games like this where AD doesn't play back-to-back or should be on a minute restriction. Mm-hmm. You would have had Mo Bamba in there getting some minutes.
He got injured.
But he's injured as well. He has to actually be off, whereas Anthony Davis has no excuse. And he's the one that's crying and complaining and saying, oh, we got to win games. What are you doing to do this?
But I find, obviously, like, there's two sides to it. Like, a lot of the people are saying, well, it is the coach's decision. But I just believe elite level players say, no, I'm suiting up. I know it is the coach's decision end of the day and whatever the coach says goes. But when you are in such a crucial time, like, we would have gone 500. Like, we would have automatically moved above the Mavs into the 8th seed. And we're now tied with the 7th seed, and then we'll be one game behind the Warriors, who you guys beat yesterday. Because the Warriors and the Clippers were playing last night, knowing the winner goes to 5th. Do you know what I mean? And one goes to 6th. So whoever loses that game is in a very close fought battle with everyone underneath. Yeah. Now we've kind of eked the Blazers back into it. We are in a 5-6 game, 6-team battle for all these spots. But we know deep down there, if we somehow get the Kings and the Grizzlies, we can make a series out of it. If everyone's healthy. If everyone's healthy, we can make a series out of it.
As in if LeBron's there. Right?
Like, if LeBron's there, of course, yeah. Okay, if LeBron's there, not right now, no. Yeah. But LeBron will be back for the playoffs. That's a known thing. He'll be there. So we get a good seed. There's hope we can make it to the second round, and you never know, with a bit of rhythm, a bit of chemistry, winning a series might do. But right now, because, bro, like, I'll be real. I know this team has got quality when they're fit, and what we did, we upgraded the roster. There's quality there, but this coach, man, like, I don't understand when there's this few games left, and this Anthony Davis day-to-day Disney guy has been missing the whole season. You have no right to be now
out of back-to-backs.
I mean,
you've been out back-to-back, bro.
You've been out back-to-back.
Did Rui Hashimura get injured last night?
I think so.
He only played 17 minutes.
I think he went off with something.
Whereas your boy Wenyan played 33.
I think either something happened or...
Listen, you pulled up to that game with a 9-man rotation, and this might be one of the worst lineups I've seen. Like, not as bad as like the Lakers when Robert Sacre was starting for you guys, but this is pretty bad, man. Like, D'Lo had 18 and 7. Vanderbilt has been pretty good for you guys. Had 13 and 10. Your boy, Joe, you're talking shit about when you game. We had 14 rebounds, you know.
Yeah, but he got eat, bro. When you're watching the game, bro,
that's okay.
It's these sometimes these stats, bro. But when you're watching the game, they are going and saying you are the reason we're going to win today, bro. Like,
got 14 rebounds, and it don't seem like he got 14 rebounds.
Yeah, apparently it didn't matter. Your boy Austin Reeves, 24 and 7 off the bench.
yeah, like he's given us another level because he's kind of stepped up, especially since the trade deadline.
Wendy Gabriel led the game in rebounds.
But it's you have to watch it.
Yeah,
it's not about a single player, bro.
But the thing is, you
Watch
understand,
the game.
Yes, he got rebounds, but they were attacking
Him.
because with AD that's not gonna run.
And he's got no defense, bro.
So yeah.
This Gabriel doesn't understand how to stop a nigga, bro.
I'm sure that as long as if Mo Bamba's like healthy and can play, then Wenyan's not gonna be in this playoff rotation.
There were only 2 players on the Rockets team that did not score double digits last night.
Says it all, innit?
I don't know how that game was lost.
Kevin Porter Jr. had 27 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Maybe it was everyone else, actually. Yeah, because you have Wendy Gabriel with 14 rebounds, Jared Vanderbilt with 10. After that, your next highest is Austin Reeves with 4 off the bench. Whereas they had 2 guys who had 9, someone had 8, 2 6s, 1 5, 1 4. They just rebound collectively, whereas you literally left the responsibility down to.
But their whole starting lineup was in double.
No, their whole roster, their whole team
bar
was
2
it
guys.
like bar 2 guys. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 man out of 9 that were, and it's the other 2 only didn't because they didn't play enough minutes to,
It's
bro.
tough, man.
That's
It's
mad.
tough. It's tough.
That's
It's
mad.
tough.
I can't lie. Look, there's an urgency for you guys. You guys have to just be on a thing where we have to win every single game.
But we are on that. But I don't understand why
you're not
Mr.
on that.
No, you're not on that.
Clearly,
No,
Mr.
no.
Ham decides to say, "Yo, you're not playing."
Because
back to
now
back.
it's really techie because
It's not that techie. Honestly, it's
still
not.
a bit techie because
Look,
Pelicans and Utah are
that.
half a game.
But we
behind
have
you
to
guys.
play. We have to play Utah twice, so it's
Long.
still in our hands, and we've got the easiest scheduled record. And in terms of everyone else, everyone's playing each other.
That's true.
If we go in our last 12 and we win 9 out of those games, I'm telling you, we'll at least be the 7th seed.
I don't think you will though, because I spoke to you about this already. Look, you say you got the easiest record.
No, that is what they've been said. We've got the easiest record.
You've got Dallas, Phoenix.
Yeah, so you got Dallas,
The Clippers, Phoenix again. Like that. If I'm honest, those are 4 or 5 games you're probably gonna lose.
I think so
Yeah, but you never know with us.
No, I know.
You're playing Dallas next.
I know.
Lose to Houston and
Minnesota as well. That's another playoff
You're
team.
playing
need
Dallas next. That's a must win.
But then both of them are back, innit?
If all right, so let me just do this in the
Orlando.
easiest way. Yeah, in your next 4 games, you're playing against 3 teams who have a better record than you. You have to win 3 out of those 4 games to even for this to even be a conversation as to whether
I think
I hear
You
that,
can-
but I would rather. Sorry to cut you off. I'd rather him have played AD back to back,
course.
knowing that we could beat the Rockets, and then not play him against Dallas. Because if we lose to Dallas, that's cool. You know what I mean? We might lose to
expected,
Dallas
yeah,
with
too,
AD, but why not win the game that's
Yeah,
winnable?
That's true.
Force AD to play back to back, kind of go through it, and then you say, you know what, boom. Next one he can't play because of whatever, even though he should still play because I don't understand.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
just bozos,
It's
man.
hard out here for a pimp, man.
Magic and Thunder, you have to beat those guys.
Have
What-
to, bro.
Have to win.
The
Phoenix, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. I think Phoenix are gonna win. I mean, you're playing the Rockets again, so you can get some revenge on them. But bear in mind, aren't they the worst team in the league?
Yes,
That's why I was so angry, though.
They're
got
trying to
Chicago
lose
back
games,
to
right?
back.
That's
as
what I
well.
mean. Their aim is to lose games, bro.
to be honest, it's key. You know, if you have to, you lot have got quite a bit to do. So, boy, but yeah, I mean, well, hopefully LeBron comes back a bit before that, get a good rhythm.
Bro, he just needs to stop. This guy, Anthony Davis, needs to say, I'm not resting. Like, sometimes
Yeah,
you've
he
got,
does.
as a player, you've got to be bullish. Like people always say, like, the greatest Laker to me, and the reason I'm in love with the basketball is Kobe, bro.
Mhm.
Personally, for me, anyway. Others might say
You need
Magic,
that
all these
Mamba
other guys.
mentality.
But sometimes you need that. I don't see Kobe saying,
Even that time,
Do you know what I mean?
Drag that team to the playoffs, and obviously he tore his Achilles, but it's like look at the effort that
He
he
used,
done.
he used to play with broken fingers.
all the
bro.
time.
Bro,
all the time. But he would. There's no way Kobe would say, because Kobe knows what's that line. Like, there's so much at risk. Remember, I alluded to it in the last podcast where there's people's right now you've got to that stage where careers, defining moments, like these are things that you're gonna look at. Like LeBron's a bit of his legacy is on the line. Like you can't miss another playoffs, bruv.
Yeah, fair.
Like, it's slightly like
yeah,
38.
He don't want to miss this one. So
AD as well. Like you're
and
getting.
this team as well that he has assembled.
Come on, man.
The issue was defending, where when everyone's there, defending is okay.
Even I think we're the second best team since the trade deadline in defensive efficiency.
Like, exactly, and then the other issue and concern was 3-point shooting. Now you've got that in Roy, you've got that in obviously Reeves was still there. We've got that with D'Angelo, Beasley. So now the things that you needed to kind of mend, you've mended. So now it's just going out there and doing it. So yeah, you guys got to.
I just want before we sign off, I just want man to understand how do you go from the best franchise scoring half in your NBA history? Remember, we've scored a lot of points, 75 points, to then in the next game, the next day, 24 hour, you lose to the worst team in the league. Nothing to say, bro.
You shot 37.8% from the field.
I don't even want to hear about it because it's
embarrassing. You shot 25% from three, and you still chose to take 44 threes.
Ask them.
That's crazy.
Because last night they made a lot. They don't have common sense. But it's true, sometimes if you're a common sense player that's sitting there watching you take all these 44 threes on the bench in his clothes because he can't play back to back, then it is what it is, isn't it? Okay. Trade that nigga.
Go ahead.
We already got half an hour, so we could either split these into two or
let's split them.
Okay, cool. We'll go quickly. We'll do a thing, but not too long. But go to the East. First team we'll talk about 76ers.
Yes.
They have been making their mark.
Yes.
They have an MVP.
They do.
That team.
They do.
And right now they're looking like the Bucks' biggest threat. And the Celtics. So,
facts.
But what do you guys think of the 76ers so far? Because James Harden's picking it up. Maxi's picking up as well. Tobias Harris. Joel Embiid. He's playing out of his mind.
Yes.
What do you guys think this season? Because we don't want postseason to come and then.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think?
I think Philly currently have put themselves in a really great position to, make a mark in the playoffs this year. Yep. Do I think the long term question is, do I think Philly can win a championship this year?
No.
Probably not. However, now like we're talking about it, I think they have the MVP this year. I think they have potentially the best player in the NBA. Yeah, and I know it's tough to say with Giannis being there as well. But if I look at what Joel Embiid gives me, I have to kind of start looking at the fact that right now, what I'm seeing of Joel Embiid, I think he could be the best player in the league. Like he's near enough unstoppable. I saw Embiid last night
getting doubled everywhere.
Bro, he was triple teaming in the paint, had nowhere to go, was looking for a pass, couldn't find one, said, "Fuck it, let me just shoot this." And it's not a problem for him. Like he's near enough unguardable by every position. Every player in the league that plays this position, sorry. I remember I saw, I follow a Twitter account, and the guy was like, gives a review of the games on the night. And then the caption for the Philly game, they're playing against Washington, he said, "Please pray for Daniel Gafford." Please pray for Daniel. Do you know what, like, when we talk about this, and Daniel Gafford is a 6'10" center in it, and that means nothing. Because Embiid is dominant, bro. Like, I understand that people talk about how dominant Shaq and Wilt were, and I was like, I understood Shaq because I saw Shaq play, but I never saw Wilt, and it's hard to fathom. But watching this guy, Joel Embiid, he's dominant and skilled. We're talking about he'll give you dunks, blocks, rebounds, like in really tough situations, but also step out and hit threes. Not to mention the fact that he gets to the line at a crazy rate and makes them at a crazy rate as well. Yeah. I think when we look at what Philadelphia are right now, they're great, one, because Joel Embiid's there as well. But they built that team around him and put complementary pieces that can all shoot. James Harden is playing so much better than he was last year. Yeah. We're not seeing like a slightly injured James Harden or the kind of James Harden that was in Brooklyn, where he was kind of like walking with a limp, didn't really seem like himself. I think I didn't love them bringing Tyrese Maxey off the bench at first, but they seem to be shaking it up now and again, switching between him and Melton. And I think Maxey's a very big key piece to them really 100%. Performing now. 100%.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, just seeing him, like, even just against the Cavs, like, he was double teamed, he spun out of the double and then scored above the help. Like, crazy. What do you do? Because that's three people to try and stop him, and he's just used his skill to beat the double and used his strength and finishing ability to finish over the, like, it's ridiculous. So Philly definitely need to build off of this and keep going. You know, especially if everyone is just firing on all cylinders. So, they are a threat. Like going against them, you don't want to go against them first round, second round,
tough, yeah.
and after cool. But yeah, they're really making a lot of noise. So we're gonna see exactly what the 76ers are going to do. Obviously, I want to talk about the Bucks.
Yeah.
They have clinched a playoff spot.
Yeah.
50 wins.
Yeah. I mean, yes, that's great, but obviously, like, the Celtics are right behind them, and then the Philly are right behind them as well. Like, the East just seems this year to have
tough.
It is tougher.
They're the best teams.
It is tougher in the West right now. I'd say the top 2 teams in the NBA definitely are in the East.
Definitely.
And we're potentially getting to the point where
3.
if I had to pick between Philly and Denver, I'd probably take Philly over Denver as well. So I'd say the best 3 teams in the NBA right now are all out of the East.
Yeah.
Giannis has really put his team on his back though. Like that has to be stressed. Like with Middleton not quite being himself, obviously coming back off the injury. We've seen it with Clay. It takes a while to get back to even the same kind of scoring output that you're at before we even start talking about anything else. So Giannis had to step up. That's one. Drew Holiday stepped up massively.
Big time, yeah.
Massively, Drew Holiday stepped up to the point where, one, he made the All-Star team, which I said he probably shouldn't have, but that's neither here nor there. But defensively, Drew Holiday is the best perimeter defender in the league. I don't think we can argue that.
On top of that, having the best perimeter defender in the league alongside having a defensive player of the year candidate.
Yeah, crazy.
They're all defensive. There's 3 out of the
They're
top 5.
They're locked in because Brook Lopez is there as well. Yeah.
Amazing defender. He's blocks everything. He's really up there. DPOY with Giannis playing defense. He's going for blocks as well there. So that's already 2 issues there. And then on the perimeter, you got to deal with Drew.
Yeah.
That is very, very tiring. Because even if, you've gone past Drew and Giannis or Brook Lopez is the help, long day.
Very long day, bro.
Long day.
Very, very long day.
And the way the Bucks have been, the fact that this is happening without Middleton being a key piece as well, they're just flowing. Obviously, he's there. Like I say, it's going to take a while, but Drew and Giannis just said, yo, let's go.
Yeah, literally.
And they're just cruising through. And they're looking like a very, very, very big problem because anyone that's going up against them, obviously, yes, they're favoured. But one quote that I saw as well about Giannis too, which is maybe, obviously, is definitely a motivation, is that he said that he's flipping desperate for trophies.
Bro, I saw him say that he winning a trophy is better than...
Yeah. Cheating.
He literally used the word, it's better than being intimate.
Yeah.
That's what he said. And this is the Greek freak saying this.
That is the obsession taking over.
Yeah.
The obsession to win. And that's a very scary thing.
His girl's going to be so pissed off he said that, but yeah.
The thing is, let me not even get to that because, don't even get to it, but that is the least of his worries.
Yeah, of course.
But, just ring that bell. That is the least of his worries. But this obsession coming from Giannis as well, who is really up there, is dangerous because he's doing everything, man. He's doing so well for the Bucks, and like I said, I think they obviously was talking about the Celtics, like Celtics madnesses. I know they've kind of been slumping, not really slumping, but they haven't looked as in tune as they have beforehand. But the Bucks, they haven't skipped a beat at all.
I think what you're seeing with the Bucks as well, like we speak about trade deadline acquisitions and who's really improved from the trade deadline. I mean, Jay Crowder, I think we touched on it post trade deadline. Obviously, he hadn't played the whole season. We knew as a pickup, as obviously we've watched Jay Crowder for a lot of years, and we know the value of a player like him going to that squad, and you're seeing it. But he's contributing a lot. He's fitting like a glove. Like, it just looks so correct. And it's not just him. You're seeing Joe Ingles back from injury properly now. He's hitting big threes again. Everyone knows he's a sniper. Yeah. He's led the league in a couple of years in terms of field goal efficiency and the most taken 3-point shots in the past seasons. And then you've got people like Javon Carter. There's so much different offense.
I have a problem with Javon Carter.
He's hot and cold, but he comes and he goes.
No, I don't get. I have a problem.
What's your problem?
Because of that interview.
No. like, you see how he's playing at the Bucks where he's looking composed.
Mhm.
He's not turning the ball over. Like he's playing very sensible and he's playing decent.
Why is that a problem?
Where the
doing that
flip
in
was this in Brooklyn? In Brooklyn, when he was in Brooklyn, he was the worst person in America.
He was a
But but the whole Brooklyn was a mess though. You can't exclude that. Like,
No.
Bro, you know this,
Milwaukee
though.
are a very stable situation. Like you know where you stand in Milwaukee, innit? From like
Bro, he got minutes and he played around with those minutes, bro. He was just there running around with his ass out, bro. That's exactly what he was doing.
a little bit.
But go ahead. I don't like that guy. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I think everyone's contributing, and I think they're at a stage, like you correctly said, that everything's smooth.
Yep.
And most importantly, and this is something I know we ain't got much time, in terms of Middleton, they've actually been able to play at a high level, win games effectively, and execute everything in terms of even offense without Middleton. And I think that was a big issue, especially last season in the 7-game series against the Celtics. Because obviously he's been there the whole time, and that adjustment to him not being there, they didn't have some of the personnel to really get those buckets and those points to kind of make that up. And you're seeing them do it now. So, yeah, credit where credit's due. I think they're on a roll.
I didn't see this, but Middleton against Sacramento had 31 and 9. You know.
Yeah. But the thing about Middleton, he's coming back in drips and drabs, so it's not that consistent level where he was.
I think he's not playing back-to-backs right now because he didn't play last.
I mean, he has a bloody reason, and
like
they're top and 50 wins, and in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true.
Difference.
That's true.
Yeah,
he's definitely
Darwin.
almost there. He's a lot closer than I thought he was, but yeah, he's definitely.
Yeah, he's just in the right time where so it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, to finish off, we gotta talk about the MVPs.
The racists. The racists. I'm gonna speak facts. The racists. Okay. Let me tell you something.
Oh God.
There's no way in hell.
Hold on. Let me get this on camera because let me take time and be ready.
Let me stop.
Yeah.
There is no way in hell, no way, shape or form that you can tell me that Nikola Jokic has been better than Joel Embiid for the last 3 seasons. You can't say that to me. You cannot say that Joel Embiid did not deserve one of the 2 MVPs that Jokic has already. But that's fine. He doesn't need to deserve those ones because he's winning this one. Joel Embiid is the MVP in the NBA. You cannot tell me otherwise. I mentioned before how dominant this guy is, how he changes the way teams have to defend. People can't really game plan for Embiid. Fair enough, they can't game plan for Jokic, but it's completely different ways. One thing about Embiid that I think
they can game plan for Jokic.
They can decide how they're going to attack
Toronto
Jokic.
Raptors showed exactly.
Yeah. But with Embiid, there's one thing that we're not going to question, and that's the fact that he is the best defensive, like, superstar big man in the league. Like that's not a question. When we look at guys like Jokic on defense, and I saw Nick Wright saying how he has great like in the paint plus minus numbers or some shit like that. I don't care about that because I've seen this man standing at 7 feet tall, just letting anyone get into the paint and make one little move to go past him or around him and doesn't even contest the shot. I've seen Joel Embiid dunk on one end, run back on defense, and pin a basketball on the backboards in the same instance. Do you know how crazy that is, first of all? This is a legit 7 foot big man running the floor like this, like it's no problem.
By the way,
yes,
he went to play help defense.
Yeah.
They've passed the ball.
Yeah.
From help defense to quickly go turn and block the shot.
Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ! Did you block that?
Jesus, you did I channeled my Joel Embiid. Oh my God!
He tried channeling.
That was wild. I hope the audience fan. Continue, sorry. Jesus.
But his defensive ability it's just not because you have Embiid who, like I say, on both sides, there's no question in his game.
Yeah.
Like, offensively, he's got it all.
Yes, confirmed.
He's doing what he needs to offensively and is great. Defensively, perimeter, he will still guard, chase down, block. Like 100%. He's still this perimeter. In the post, help defense, everything. Like on both sides, there's no question to I don't know about him offensively or I don't know about him defensively. He's there both sides and he's doing it all. Whilst other 7-footers have the highest kickball violation in the league because
that's nuts, isn't it?
Because they're not bothered to play defense.
That's nuts.
No.
Y'all
I'm
sit
not
here and hate on Jokic.
I'm not. No, the thing is, it's not hate because
it's facts,
bro. It's not hate, and it can't be hate. He's got 2 MVPs. Like, it's not hate, but it's like there's MVPs, most valuable player. Okay, cool. But okay, so defensively, you're not gonna get as much value from Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
Offensively, you're gonna get a lot because he's gonna give you a lot. But then right now, especially the way Embiid has been playing on both sides, I mean the effort, because bro, like, come on, having the highest kick ball violations is a bit mad.
But thing is, like,
I know he's European and that, but bro, football stays at home.
And I think we do need to talk about, like, Embiid is leading the league in points right now, isn't it?
Yeah,
He's averaging 33.5 points per game on 54% shooting, 10.2 rebounds, 4.1 assists. I understand that Jokic is averaging a 25-point triple-double. But let's not act like what Embiid's doing right now is not crazy. Those are crazy numbers, and then we can add the defensive stats to it as well. Like, I want to make sure that this isn't the direction that the league keeps going in, where they just discount. They think of the MVP as the best offensive player, because that is not what it is. And I feel like that's how it's been looked at for a lot of time. That's why at points in time, people saying, "Oh, Luka's like the favorite to win MVP," or "This guy's the favorite to win MVP." Like, I think we've discounted Jokic for the last 2 years. I was saying you don't have to be a great defensive player to win it, but giving him 3 when you've got a guy who's doing it on both ends of the court and is leading the league in scoring. He's got his team now have a better record than Jokic's team as well. Yeah, I just feel like, at what point do we look at it and say, you know what, we were wrong? Okay, Jokic has his 2, that's fine, but this guy is deserving of it this year, and I just struggle to believe that he's not, man.
it's hard because I think a lot of people are at a point where they don't know who to vote for, because Jokic has been good the whole season.
Yep.
Not saying Embiid hasn't been good the whole season. He has been good the whole season, and this last stretch of games, he's just been amazing. And Jokic has been doing a mazzoline.
I almost feel like it's the other way around.
From the joke.
I almost feel like Jokic was good at the I feel like Embiid's been consistent the whole year. I feel like Embiid isn't doing anything he wasn't doing before. Like, he's been scoring this many points. He was averaging 30.
Embiid's been good the whole year, but this last stretch of games, it's just been either he's just kind of put the ices on top of the
I think it's more
cake,
so that Jokic has started to plateau a bit. I think the effect of his play has, or I say the effect of his play, I think he just hasn't been able to put up the kind of, like you're saying, the kind of performances that Embiid is doing. And I'm saying, holding him to that from when Embiid started this season anyway. I think another reason that Embiid probably deserves it as well, when was the last time people were talking about Embiid having constant injuries and stuff like that? I can't remember the last time Embiid missed a game for like a long period of time, a stretch of games for a long period of time.
Remember, this was a guy that came into the league injured.
Bro, like, I haven't seen him eating no burgers on the sideline like he used to. Like, the guy is fully locked in this season, in my opinion, and playing 35 minutes a game. He's played 55 games this season, and they've got what? So he's probably missed between about 10. I know they said there's going to be a minimum they're going to put in, which I agree with. And I just think if Embiid plays, what do you want to say, like 68 games, I think you have to give it to him.
Giannis has a case.
I think I have to pull it out there. I mean, I've been with Jokic for a while. I mean, I was with Tatum for a bit. Then Jokic kind of took over. Yep. Jokic has kind of had it up until the last 10 to 14 days.
Racist.
I think Giannis and Embiid are hands down the top 2. And since Giannis has come back, he's shown. I mean, he comes back, first game drops 48. He shows exactly why he is still regarded as the best player in the league, on both ends of the court.
Yep.
And then Embiid has been the most consistent player at that level all season. I mean, he's now 8th among all players in clutch times scoring, shooting 50% above in those situations. I mean, he's scoring at a ridiculous rate. He's affecting the game on both ends on the floor, and it's decisive. And I think that's what you're seeing with Philly. A lot of the wins in the recent moments, we have spoken, I think you alluded to it, about James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, the rest of the squad chipping in. But Embiid's really spearheaded it. I mean, he's at a place right now, I don't know if we're getting the best version of him, because I've seen this with him over the past couple seasons, but this is ridiculous.
This is the best Embiid we've ever seen.
Now I'm probably looking at him and I'm just saying, it's curtains. Like there's no one, I believe, that can really sit here and stop him. You just got to say, you know what, you do your thing. We have to do our thing outside of him, because he ain't really gonna stop him. Like you can plan all you want, and it's a long day. And I think the issue that we've got right now is the Bucks and the Celtics are just saying, yo, we better not the first one that plays them and faces him. Mm-hmm. That's their issue, because I think they can say, if the Bucks can avoid the 76ers or Boston, obviously, until the conference finals, and say, you know what, Boston, you go up against Embiid and Harden and them, man, especially Embiid. Yeah. It could be, they might lose. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think Embiid's at such a high level right now. It's hard to look past him, especially with Giannis being out for the last few weeks. Jokic dipping. Tatum's kind of lost that buzz that he had. Yep. And then the other people like SGA obviously missing a lot of time. A lot of the other guys are way far off it anyway. So it is between those three plus Tatum. I would add to that 4. But Embiid's leading it. It's hard to really look. Now, I'll be surprised if he doesn't win it, because to me, these are the best players.
Yeah.
And I think Tatum's going to win one soon.
And it's crazy because it's been like this for years now.
It has been. It's been these 3.
I think we should address the JJ Redick situation.
Yeah, we have to.
So JJ was saying how Kendrick Perkins was basically alluding to the fact that the voters have some sort of racial bias towards picking Jokic over Embiid, which I do not disagree with, by the way. And JJ Redick said, no, that's outrageous. How can you say that the voters are essentially racist because they keep picking Jokic over Embiid? Well, I think for the last 2/3 seasons, I think them two have been like the leaders in the MVP. Or Giannis as well, of course, but like those 3 have been the leaders in the MVP race.
Those 2 more so. I think Giannis won his tune is a bit like let them.
Yeah. And I just feel like the reason I think there's a side to that as well. Why has every other MVP or every other black MVP kind of had some level of voter fatigue where guys stop saying, you know what, we've given him a few, let's stop. Because we've said this before.
That's Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis
I can start it from earlier. Yeah. Yes. LeBron James should have way more MVPs than he does.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Kobe Bryant should definitely have more MVPs than he does. Mm-hmm. Giannis definitely should have more MVPs than, like, if we did it more recently, Giannis should probably have more MVPs than he does as well. But because they're like, you know what, we've given him a few, let's start spreading it out. Why is that not the same with Jokic? I don't understand. Where it's kind of been a 2/3-headed race between Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis. Why is it Jokic just continually keeps getting the consideration? You know, he's definitely, because I don't think it's as clear cut as people. I don't think it's ever been as clear cut. But I definitely right now do not think it's a slam dunk, like clear cut. Oh yeah, Jokic is better. Because I disagree with that. I think Embiid is definitely the most valuable player, and I think it's even clearer to see it now, where Embiid has had to, every year for the last 3 years, has improved his game, right? He's gone up in points. I think the only thing he didn't go up in this year was rebounds. But every other stat he goes up in. He shoots at a better efficiency, all of this stuff, especially from the free throw line as well. He's gotten better at. And I feel like at some point you have to look at the fact that his team get better when he gets better as well.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's not a case where, he had a drop-off and his team played well. This year, Jokic is averaging a triple-double, yeah? And his team are the number 1 seed in the West. Whereas last year, he won MVP and his team were like, the 6th seed or something like that?
5th. I think 5th or
5th
seed. I think it was 5th or 4th because Mavs were either, I think they were 4th seed.
Yeah, but
I think it was 6th because they played Golden State in the first round. And Golden State were the 3rd seed.
Oh, no, yeah,
they were the 6th seed, right? And he won MVP from that. I feel like they mix and match between when they decide, like team success matters to it. With team success matters, yes, Denver are the number 1 seed in the West, but they don't have a better record than Philadelphia. So I don't think you can say team success. I think if you look at stats-wise, like, yes, I said Jokic is averaging a triple-double, but you're acting like Embiid's not averaging crazy numbers as well. 33, 10 and 4 is still extremely good. And they never mention the defensive stats as well. Just give my guy the nod. We know what it is. You can say it's not racist or whatever you want. I don't really care at this point, innit? But I just feel like, eye test wise, I think Embiid is better. I see him dominate in a way that I feel like that alone deserves MVP. Add that to his numbers. Add that to the fact that he's playing defense as well. Add that to the team success. It's crazy.
To kind of touch on what you're saying, and I as much as people can go on about and I still believe Jokic is up there and has been up there.
Yeah.
I just believe, like we've said it on the pod this season anyway, like Jokic going back to back is a mad legacy thing to have.
Crazy accolade, bro.
And look, I'm not even alluding that even if Jokic has been the best player this year, it's still he has to be to win 3 in a row is crazy in this modern day. Like you said, even LeBron didn't do that. You know what I mean? So and he's the GOAT. So how can you tell me? I mean, as much as I think Jokic will be one of the greatest centers of all time, he already is, to be fair. Embiid should be up there, and I think this MVP accolade will put him right there because, like you've alluded to earlier in the pod about Shaq, the Wilts, and how dominant. Like Embiid needs this MVP to be considered as one of the greats, and I'm not saying he isn't already, but when people look at MVP caliber and look at MVP accolades and associate with centers, which was such a big thing at the beginning of the NBA. We're going to a very guard heavy era now, but at the start, a lot of the top centers have won an MVP, and a lot of the top centers are associated with that. So I really want and hope Embiid can get it because it'll be great for his legacy, man.
Quick question: who was the last guy to three-peat in the MVP?
Was it? Was it?
No,
One of the two, was it the last person to three-peat?
Mm-hmm. I can give you a clue if you want a clue.
Because I think I know, but what's a clue?
There's some racism going on.
It's either Nash or Dirk, isn't it?
No.
Dirk, yeah, not Dirk.
Nash only has
Larry Bird.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it, sorry. Not
Yes.
Larry Bird.
Yes.
Because I was looking back. Hakeem won 2, no. Jordan, no. I was going all the way back. Even Isaiah Thomas,
Larry,
no.
yeah.
It's Larry Bird.
Isn't that ironic?
And we all know when. Yeah. Need I say more? That's it.
Even though, like, the thing is, when Reddit came to say all that stuff, right, it was like, okay, first of all, you saying this thing in a country that's one of the most racist places, it's like, it makes no sense. So I think Reddit kind of just went a tiny bit out of I think, okay, Perks could have probably said it in a better way.
That's the problem. He can't articulate himself, so he's just sounding stupid.
So
when Reddit started going on him, he couldn't say anything to.
I did not.
Yeah, he was. That's what he said. I did not, and then he said, "It's the truth. It's the truth, brother. What's happening here?"
It's just one of the ones where he's not articulating himself properly. So the way he's saying it is just
crazy.
Yeah, and then Reddit as well, kind of denying, not denying, I would say, kind of. Saying this is the problem with this show, narratives, all these things, but this is what happens because then the thing is, right, I didn't see, obviously, I don't know, during that time, when did Reddick stop playing?
Last time he played for was the Pelicans in
3 years ago, 3 seasons.
Something like that, 2 or 3. Nah, probably not even, yeah. I think Zion's first or second year might have been, so 3 years ago.
So
it's the third year, I think, that he's not playing.
So when Giannis won his second MVP, was Reddick?
Yeah, he was in the league.
He was in the league, yeah. So, all right, cool, fair enough. But it's like, there was no sort of defense or any, sort of army behind to say, why can't Giannis win back to 3-time MVP? Well, there was none of that.
Yeah.
Comes to Jokic now, and hoorah! There's a lot of noise. Like, we have to, because consider the fact that, like I say, one of the two was very close between Embiid, which could have gone either way, and one's gone Jokic's way. So that is cool. But like, if we are keeping it a buck, I'm gonna say Giannis should have three-peat MVP.
Oh, he could have. Yeah, why not?
So and it's just one of the ones where we have to keep it real, innit? Like, right now, it's not looking like it is Jokic. And no one's counting him up because he's won it twice.
Just give it to Embiid, man.
So,
come on.
Like I say, like when someone usually wins it back to back, let's
start looking at someone else.
And if that's the way they usually go, this is the perfect way, technically. So,
yep.
Because right now, like I say, I believe, I can't remember what's the updated MVP ladder, but I'm sure it's either Embiid, Giannis, Jokic, or Giannis, Embiid, Jokic.
Well, the betting odds on ESPN have got Embiid is favourite.
Good.
Which Jokic has been clear-cut favourite since Feb the 1st. Embiid is now favourite, Jokic second, and Giannis third. in terms of wages. So it's 79 to 85% of the market have gone up on Embiid. In that same market, Jokic has dipped from 6% to 2% since they've lost their last 4, and then Giannis has improved his third odd. So it's tightening. I think that fourth between Tatum's going down a bit. It's a bit of a gap.
Yeah. So, listen, I think at this point, obviously, still 12 games left. So anything can happen, but really and truly, I think right about now, or within at least the next 3 games, it will be cemented. It should be in the next 3 to 5 games.
The MVP?
It's going to go right. I think it's going to go right down to the end.
That's done. I mean, as soon as the regular season's done, then you can. That is not free. That's the whole season,
I'll
bro.
say, okay. If was okay, Jokic still might put up some good numbers, but if they still keep slumping over the next 5 games, I think he's solid staying at third.
No, but you have to also look at his numbers. Jokic's numbers, even in the defeats, have been good. So that is like he's got since in their 4-game slide, he's had a 35-point game and a 20-point rebound triple double in the loss to the Nets. Over this span, he's averaged 29.5 points and 14.8 rebounds.
But what's the maddest thing is he's also one of the reasons why they lost, because he keeps getting attacked and they keep scoring on him.
Yeah, but he's still. You can't solely blame him for the 4-game slid, and he's been putting up.
I'm not solely, but he is a big reason, because you can.
He is a reason. They're all a reason.
You can give 5 assists, but if you get scored on 7 to 10 times, those assists minus, because now
he's not. He's not the one that is the primary problem for the 4-game skid. But then I'm saying it's Embiid right now. But I'm saying Jokic has taken his MVP caliber thing has taken a dip. And the Nuggets have taken a dip, but it is what it is.
Because for me, to have 3 MVPs and not even make a conference finals or finals appearance is wild. I'm just saying, to have 3 MVPs and not make a finals appearance or conference appearance is wild.
He has got to conference finals.
Yeah. Has he got to conference? When
in the bubble.
Yeah, he's got to conference finals.
But he didn't get MVP.
Against us.
He didn't get MVP then.
No, but he's got to conference finals. People he's Jokic's level. Give him his 2.
Yeah, no, I'm saying
Embiid. Give Embiid
to conference finals, but Jamal Murray was really going off to get them. Dropping 50s. But I'm saying from when he's won first MVP, even if it's the year before or the year he's won MVP, no conference finals appearance, no finals appearance, and I'm not even because even flipping the Bucks, like. Their team was built around Middleton. Middleton got injured in the first round.
Remember, Embiid's not got to a conference finals though.
Yeah, so he's gone to I'm sure Denver Nuggets have they gone second round, or has it just been first round since?
No, they've gone second round.
Since when?
Since Giannis, since Jokic has won MVP or the year before.
No.
Yeah, so in his first year they got to the conference. No, it was the year before. So the year before he got to conference finals.
It went bubble. He won. Then the following year he won MVP.
And then he won.
But they didn't make a conference finals.
So, bro, but it's got to be done. You got to be able to.
Because they got to the second round when they came back against them, didn't they? Was that 3-1? Was that 3-1 in the bubble
against us?
Yeah, it was, because that's how they got to the conference finals.
But they beat someone. They were 3-1 down against someone else.
Utah.
It was
Utah. Yeah. So it was the next season. Oh.
Yeah.
That was all in the bubble.
That was all in the bubble.
So haven't they had another series where they beat someone? Because I know they had a second round.
They were down 3-1 to Utah in the first round. Then they came back and beat them. Then they were down 3-1 to us, and they beat us. And then they played you guys in the conference finals.
Lakers in 5, of course. But then the year after, what happened to them? Second round is what I remember.
First round. Yeah, I'm sure it's been first round for the past since.
Boy,
but
Embiid.
MVP is
Bring
Embiid.
it on, mate.
But guys, we're gonna have to cut it there because of time's sake. Make sure you guys follow us on all socials at Take It to the Pod on Twitter, at Take It to the Rim Podcast on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. Follow, like, share, subscribe, all of that. Put everything of us out there, and man, keep rocking with us, keep supporting. We trying to go sky high.
Trying to go sky high, baby.
Man. Outside. So thank you guys for listening. Press that big red button. Press that follow button. Press every button on the pod except for unfollow.
Unfollow Darwin Ham, bro.
But yeah, as Jules always says to take us out,
Over and out, baby.
we out. MVP'd.